Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Monday, March 6th, and it's me, Julian, with my friends, Jacob.
Hello, brother Julian.
And DJ.
Hi. Hiya. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
And it's Left Look. It's the premier independent podcast from Gâteau Institute, where we'll be taking a look at Canadian international arts, culture, and entertainment to provide you with an unbiased left-wing perspective. Il s'agit du premier podcast indépendant de la Gâteau Institute où nous pencherons sur l'art, la culture et le divertissement canadien et international pour vous offrir une perspective impartiale et de gauche.
Really good. Really good.
You know,
Yep.
you know, in the Winter Olympics when the toboggans and the luge, they have their multiple runs, and each time you're like, run 2 was so bad, run 2 was slow, run 2 was. That's how I feel watching Julian every week, listening to him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, compared to the last round, oof, that was a little dicey. His starting was kind of iffy this week, but he really got it through the middle turns.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I want to empathize and even abstract it even more deeply, that I'm on the level where I'm like, oh, turn 26 was not as tight this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the new Percheron didn't come out as smoothly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Divertissement actually was what I was thinking about this week.
Yeah, the big inhale in the middle, that's what caught me.
Yeah, it just slipped up, honestly.
This is good criticism. I like this.
No,
It makes me feel like an F1 driver.
Yeah,
I would hate that. That's pretty good.
you're gonna come in next week with an unregulated audio recording of yourself sped up, just to make sure it's as fast as possible.
I'm happy, though, neither of you guys caught the actual error there, where I straight up just left track limits. I got Institute and Gâteau backwards in French.
Just
Hey,
whatever.
brother, it's such an incorrect translation that I don't think anybody cares. The Quebecers may care one day if we ask for a real job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, episode.
Leave us a comment if you're French.
Yeah, un comment on the section de comments, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît.
If there's ever a time where we have the listeners, where we tap into an audience, where we have French listeners or bilingual listeners, I would hope that they would reach out and, with that minute amount of labor, liberate us from our ineptitude.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that we don't want to. It's just that we're really ignorant.
Not
and
great
stupid.
at French.
Yeah,
It's a long statement, you know.
huge.
Yeah.
Help us, please.
Yeah.
We're begging you. Charles does not give us any funding, please.
Yeah.
Speaking of being canceled for, speaking about cultures and or speaking on behalf of cultures really stupidly, I'm going to talk about the Ukrainians once again, but not about the Ukrainians at all. It's just like a period of Ukrainian history that, like, up until the Russians, the Kievan Rus, conquered the area in like the 9-1000s. It was always led by steppe lords, usually just referred to as Scythians. To the north of the Caucasus, all the way to Sevastopol in the Ukraine, was usually just
Scythian lords, huh?
Scythian horse lords. You know, that's just what they were referred to. But between the 6 and the 900s, they were led by a certain tribe called the Khazars, the Khazar Khanate.
Okay.
And I just find their history really interesting, and I thought I would mention it because it doesn't show up in the Ukrainian Wikipedia history, and yet they owned all of Ukraine for 300 years, right? And I think it's really funny. I gotta find my page.
Russell.
Russell. Anyways, so listen to this. Their first Khan, his name was Urbis, and the next Khan's name was Bulan.
Okay.
But then a couple Khans later, their names are Zachariah and Benjamin and Aaron and things like that, right? and it doesn't really mean anything. Their people and their warriors and their nobles, they were all Tengrists the whole time, which is the religion of the steppe until, the conquest of the Russians, basically,
right,
in the 1600s. And it just means like Skyfather in Turkic and Mongolic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and so these steppe nomads on the Caucasus were like vassals of the Byzantines,
right?
And the Byzantines and also some of the Arab empires that followed, right? they said to be like a real people, you have to be one of the people of the book, or otherwise we can just kill you at will, basically, right? Is how that worked out. This is just me guessing about history now. We've left scholarship, right?
Okay.
And but like there's no real accounting for this name change of these nobles to like these Jewish names. And up until recently, Jewish documents saying that these people had converted to Judaism were dismissed, but they've started to be verified recently. And so what I think what happened was the Khans and the nobles, the top nobles, were like, well, if we got to be a people of the book, yeah, you see it coming already, right? You're like, we're not going to be Islamic, we're not going to be Christian, fuck that, that's what you guys are, right? And we'll have to obey you fuckers and your fucking religious doctrines. We'll just be the Jews, right? And so they were the Jewish Khans of Ukraine for 300 years, right? And not on the Wikipedia page about Ukrainian history. I would say suspicious and part of my long meandering on the Ukrainians as a people.
Trying to distance himself from those steppe people. Mm-hmm.
Come on, one of the most interesting steppe peoples to ever exist, the steppe Jews, the Jewcons, right? What a fucking storyline that like not a lot of people have heard of.
Yeah, they had a con Jew attitude.
Yeah, I wonder if they did the what's it called? Circumcision. You know, I wonder if the cons were into that. I bet you they were like, no.
Yeah, no way. No, it was all just at face value.
Yeah, they were Tangrist and everything, but their naming system, naming convention, and maybe they put up some candelabras or whatever those things are called.
Only when the overlords were visiting.
Yeah, whenever they went before the emperor in Constantinople, they would dress it up like they were Jews, but then they'd go back onto the step and they would be like, all right, Skyfather again, I think.
Now that that's done with,
yeah,
you throw those dreidels in the fire. We don't need them.
Again, this is a disinformation podcast, and I tried to keep the history, but the only things that were factual were up until the names. After that, everything else was just a pondering, so... Could be completely wrong. Could be, but that's kind of the fun thing about obscure history is somebody's going to have to go through a lot of effort to prove you wrong. Yeah, exactly. And I didn't really mean anything ideologically about it, right? It doesn't mean the Ukrainians are fascists, right?
Ooh.
They're anti-Jewish or like that they're Nazis like the Russians claim. I don't mean that at all, right? But like it is funny that it's excluded from the Wikipedia page, and I can only assume that it's for like individual anti-Semitic reasons, right? That is maintained because Wikipedia is an anarchic site, right? Maintained by moderators all over the world. It's actually a battleground of information as moderators debate over what is reality, basically. It's such an interesting system, Wikipedia. But it also doesn't mean anything because no one official has staked anything in it, right? So it's just something to think about.
Yeah, it really is just like a little pocket dimension where people fight over whether or not things are true.
It's like the Journal of the American Empire and their account of reality.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, because one of my favorite things is when you're going through a Wikipedia article, especially for something that's very, very select, very like, just something not a lot of people would care about. I don't know, some
you do?
Yeah, some weird hyperfixation that you're into for 5 minutes until you Google it up and up pops the Wikipedia article because that's the only thing anyone's talked about. Yeah. And you're looking at it. And you're reading it, and you come along a thing where it's it usually shows the footnotes to the citations. But my favorite thing is within the footnote, it just says citation undocumented. Like what? Or citation disputed. Like, excuse me? What do you mean? And you follow it, and there's just a huge argument going on whether or not that citation is real or not.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, just some armchair warriors going at it.
I have a couple contributions. I mostly grammatical ones from because the way they gather content is like they pull from like the Google top 10 searches and then they they sort it, right?
Right.
Like, that's where most of that information can be tracked to, right? Other than like textbooks that are from real contributors, right? But there's like a lot of AI tasks, like fucking just like shit that isn't fucking typed by a human. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. Fuck it.
Well, I know. What you're thinking of is they're called spiders. They send out spiders into the web. Isn't that such a fun analogy? That's what they're called.
Is that really what they're called?
Yeah,
I thought you were just fucking with me.
No, they're called spiders. They send
That
out
is a
these
fun
things called
analogy.
spiders, and they find the info and they bring it back. Or they find like the source of the info, and then they go, "Hey, this is here." Bip bip bip.
All right, my contributions. I have a couple of contributions, but they're mostly grammatical, just from the inscription errors between the gaps between those. Sometimes they just don't fit nicely, and I just like will send in the change, and it'll get accepted by whatever mod eventually, right? And a couple of those have stuck. And then I have an actual contribution in God is Dead, because I was studying Nietzsche at the time, and at the time of the when I was studying Nietzsche, the fucking Wikipedia didn't mention him, basically, right? As in the beginning, and I was like, come on, the dude invented that fucking phrase. So I went and found the earliest book he said it in. It was like 1830 something, and I fucking posted the exact fucking quotation with all the fucking documentation behind it, annotation, whatever you want to call it, and it got accepted.
Nice.
I was like, wow. I am a Wikipedia contributor from now on. I am a real contributor to the conversation of history. I feel enlightened.
Yeah, dude, you should. You could put that on your CV.
No.
You should get a T-shirt.
I'm
no.
sure there are T-shirts out there already.
I think so. But you could wear the contributor one now. I would do that.
Would you?
I'm going to go find an article to edit.
There's a bunch of grammatical errors all over the place. If you just fucking took a few seconds to look at something that is, I don't know, not fucking fanned over by fucking national fascists who fight over the fucking slightest little thing in history on Wikipedia, you just get away from that, and you can find just like people lollygagging, looking at stuff, thinking it's cool.
You know what always astounds me are the I forget the field of study now that I want to say it. The like zoological, the plants. I'm forgetting the study of plants.
Biological?
Not quite biological, but so if you're looking at Wikipedia for animals and plants,
yeah.
Just wow! How somebody went through all the effort to like scour through some 18th century Swedish dude's notes on this like wildflower that grows in the mountains, and there's always just a stupid amount of information on those pages.
Can trust the autistic to be autistic.
I just see it like wow, I love it. And then me in the present in the same boat, like wow, this is really interesting. I'm glad somebody else was obsessed.
I love bugs and trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only way that other content gets produced. It's either like of national importance that's on the internet, or it's just like some kid out there, some guy who's just like, wow, that's really interesting. And they just do not produce the same amount of scholarly vigor. You know what I mean?
No.
It's a hyperfixation.
Yeah. Sometimes the over-hyperfixation, though, fucking creates just huge gaps in the scholarship, as we've just seen with the Khazar thing. Like, you type in Ukraine, it's not mentioned at all. It's like 400 years they were there.
Just a big gap in history, no big deal. Yeah. Just chalk it up to the collapse of the Bronze Era.
Well, the reason that's not on the internet is because that's the one way we could end this war peacefully.
As if they all converted to Judaism, is what Julian's saying. You fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Not only Judaism, but go back to their nomadic roots.
Yeah. Send them all to Israel. Israel will love that, so they'll be on board. And then Russia gets, whatever, Donetsk and Lugansk.
Luhansk.
Yeah. And anyone who lives there who doesn't like it, go to Israel.
Yeah.
And be one of the white people there that helps outbreed the Palestinians.
As an extension of this bit, I I was going through the Wikipedia article on what is entitled, Jewish History is the title of the Wikipedia article. And these Khazars are not mentioned. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I just thought that was funny. I thought I'd say it. That the disdain for the horse people goes both ways. Honestly, I'd be looking to claim any kind of horse lordship I could in my history. That's badass as fuck. You can create whole sorts of nationalistic battalions based on that shit. Yeah, thinking like a steampunk overlord at all times.
Well, if you're looking to press your core claims, then you gotta look for that kind of stuff with those casus belli.
Yeah, you gotta max min those fucking percentages,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's basically all I brought this week. I'm sorry it's so limited. Oh, Bakhmut's still not surrounded. My update on the war.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. I called it in chat 2 weeks ago. I thought it was over. And it still hasn't ended in Bakhmut.
No,
But
what did I just read? They've like bunkered down on one road. They have one road they're still in control of.
Yep.
I wonder if they'll be able to pull out or if there'll be an actual encirclement of troops this time. Last time they fucking were able to withdraw, but that's a difficult operation.
Uh-huh.
There's three really difficult operations in the military. Cross a river, retreat through your own lines, and then pull back through a pocket is another really, really bad one. Bound for chaos, fucking easy targets. It's no good.
Yeah.
But I think the Ukrainians will get out. They got all sorts of fucking reconnaissance and logistics and information help from the West, right? And that's what really decides operations like that. It's not your hard power.
I think what they need is a big distraction. just somebody with a sniper rifle needs to shoot the really obvious yellow exploding barrel in the Wagner camp. That'll distract everyone.
Yeah. This war of trucks firing missiles at each other, like you fire in one place and you have to immediately leave because there's going to be a rain of death there within a couple minutes because they've tracked your shot. Like what they need is one sniper.
Yeah, one dude. That's it. One dude, one shot, one bullet, one barrel.
That's unironically my thought of how World War I should have saved millions of lives. You should have stopped focusing on the Western Front. You should have formed like battalions of snipers and just deployed them on the Eastern Front and just put out like bounties on fucking German scalps. You would have fucking saved so many lives. But it's about the distance of fucking troops between each other and how far they can shoot, right? Nowadays, you can shoot forever, so it's fucking ridiculous to be anywhere near anybody else because it just makes you more valuable at target, right? You want to be spread out and light and unhittable. All the new vehicles from the U.S. that are coming out right now for scout vehicles and for light reconnaissance and things like that are just like a light Jeep with no armor with like a mortar that kind of like descends mechanically off the back because that makes it as heavy as possible, the mortar, but they want to be able to get the fuck out of there basically immediately. Not be seen and hit and not be seen again. Fighting's for pussies right now. I bet you some fucking I bet you some warlord takes control of some ethnic group and it just like has no regard for human life and just drives them before the death of those missiles and just arms them with machine guns and, you know, will overpower people with human wave tactics. I think warfare is approaching that kind of tipping point again because it's relying on such a hit and run mentality, such a dispersal of force mentality.
Isn't that what happened when the longbow got real popular? The longbow, the crossbow. And then all of a sudden they went, oh, wait, we can't do knights anymore. This sucks. Everyone just gets a bow, I guess, until we build castles that are too big to assault.
The response to the bow was pikes, right? Pikes and guns.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone gets a bow. In fact, they were like, no, we can't do that because giving everyone a bow is like the Yeoman. Like it was a a real economic development, that you had all these farmers that were like independent and had time to practice the bow every week, right?
Yeah,
And
friggin'
had
specialist class. Ugh.
yeah, like 9,000 bowmen for just covering England, right? Or whatever was at Agincourt. That's a lot of fucking land and a lot of dispersal and a lot of economic activity devoted to fucking producing that. And the French were like, no, our economic activity is devoted to exclusively the pleasure of our noble class. And that is like a must of our society as the hegemon of this sphere, right? And like, so that was never going to be changed. So what had to happen was somewhere else, some had to develop a better weapon than the bow, and it was the pike and the fucking gun. The
Yeah,
Dutch,
we
the
got
Swedish.
pointy sticks and also different sticks that explode.
Cannon too, arguably.
Boomstick.
All right, this has been Disinformation History with Jake. I provide you only the shallowest of takes. Thanks.
Thanks for coming on.
Takes so shallow that there's clams living in them. Watch out! Watch your toes. Well, splish, splish, splash, splash.
Let's go to an article.
An article.
Wait,
Yeah, let's start an article.
Oh,
hit a stinger.
I was hoping Julian would have something to talk about.
No, Julian doesn't contribute. It's fine.
He's not even sick this week. Come on, no, I'm crossing my arms, Julian. I demand something.
All right, let's hang on. Let's get the knuckles. There we go.
Ooh.
I almost
I
heard
hope that came through.
Yeah, kind of.
All right, news.
All right, we're gonna be here a minute, I guess.
Yeah.
Nope, I've got NPR here.
Oh, great, NPR. All right.
Senator Tim Scott is a different kind of Republican who could reshape the 2024 election.
Ah, groan. Yeah. All right.
Never heard of him.
Yep.
I don't think that's happening.
We can talk about the election just for a second, because I want to put down right now that Trump has won the Republican candidacy already.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
Yeah, like,
well,
Ron DeSantis, I don't think he's going to even run. He's looking at the numbers and he's like, no, why would I undermine myself? I'm set for 2028 is the analysis there.
If he stays in Florida, he's golden.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I've watched him over and over again, like live and in person doing speeches. Mm-hmm. He's got nothing. He doesn't got the juice. He doesn't got the stuff, the magic, whatever you want to call it, right? The ability to talk to whatever crowd and just charm them because they're fucking morons. You know what I mean? He don't got it.
Unfortunately.
I think he...
I was going to say he himself is a moron.
And Trump's already decimated him with this meatball Ron shit. It's anti-Italian racism, only lightly, right? And he's also a little fat fuck, so it's kind of fun too. And it's like peak Trump again, right? Him making fun of like actors and famous people. It's peak hilarity. He's gonna win. It sucks.
No, I'm excited. I want Trump back in office.
Jesus Christ, Julian.
He's funny.
It is funny, but it's like not ha-ha funny. It's like, it's doom and gloom funny.
As a Canadian, it's a little bit ha-ha funny.
Dude, it accelerates the timeline on their conquest of the Commonwealth.
What
if we have to be like freedom fighters, like, Canadian Taliban in our own fucking lifetime? Not cool.
There's nothing worth fighting for here. I don't care.
Oh, I mean, the opportunity to kill Americans is just enough to entice me.
I guess.
Yeah, the opportunity to not be killed is also pretty enticing. I'm in favor of not being slaughtered, thanks.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't slaughter us. They would try and incorporate us to the best of our ability, but there would be nationalistic fucking terrorism and things like that.
Yeah.
And, hard to deny the prospects on that. Sorry.
Who do we think the Democrats are going to run in 2024?
Obama.
Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah, they don't have a primary, do they?
Yeah, Joe Biden's running, and we just have to live with it. There might be an opportunity to switch out his VP. In fact, I guarantee it, because there's no way he survives another fucking 4 years of this. And Kamala Harris is not being given the reins by the fucking people in the fucking inner circles. Not being handed the reins, at least, right? She needs her own legitimacy to be able to fucking stand on, but also be threatened at any time, right? But, like, she's a loss at this point, right? You fucking hand her the reins, well, it could damage the democratic movement so badly that liberals, capitalist liberals, lose control, right? Like, and it goes back to the unions. Unacceptable in their minds, right? So...
Yeah.
She's going to be swapped out. I bet you it's Pete Buttigieg. I've been saying it for a while. They're going to put Pete in, even despite this last environmental disaster. And, yeah. If Joe Biden dies, though, then it'll be a showdown between Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and Pete Booty.
Pete Booty.
Pete Booty.
What's Pete's deal anyway? I've never heard of any of these schmucks.
Pete is just, he worked for McKinsey. Are you familiar?
Oh, is this the CAA guy?
The what?
Possibly.
We were talking about some CAA guy. Keep going.
Well, he's an investment banker kind of guy. And, he organized a bread fixing scheme in Ontario with McKinsey. Well, in his time at McKinsey. I think that's all you need to know about him. His dad was a prolific scholar that translated Gramsci, who was a great Marxist scholar, and he pisses all over his father's legacy every day by his actions as like a CIA asset. He claims to be able to speak like 5 languages, and like he gets busted not knowing like anything all the time in any of the languages. I love that shit. But you know, he's mostly just like a vacuous fucking puppet of the liberal establishment. And
yeah, he is a shell, if ever there was one.
Yeah, when he speaks, you can just feel the fakeness to it, right? Like it's just so see-through.
And he's gay.
He is gay.
More or less fake than Mr. DeSantis.
He's the representation of that B-52 meme I referenced last time, where they, when the Republicans are in office, it has a cross on it, and when the Democrats are in office, it's got a gay flag on it.
Oh, I see.
Pride flag.
Yeah.
Well, who's the other guy? The governor. How's he doing?
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
He's just been making waves recently, and he is the governor of a significant population, and those are good picks for presidencies historically, right? You have to have a name already, and Democrats don't run celebrities yet.
Not yet.
Where I'm at.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They will, though. They will, though, Julian. You feel it.
Yeah. No. Oh, I know. Matthew McConaughey is coming.
No, he wants to run as a Republican. He's never making it. All right. Dwayne The Rock Johnson could run, and that's terrible. That's an indictment of our society.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, just relax. You know, I've got it.
He'd do an Obama impression.
They kind of have a similar fucking...
They do?
Yeah, fuck. I just kind of hope that, like, Kevin Hart, his partner in crime, fucking
VP?
The Rock, I hope he is unelectable. You just go say VP, though, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, that would happen. Like, fuck, we live in the worst timeline. You remember the movie?
I don't know.
You remember the movie Idiocracy? And Terry Crews was the president in that one. I think The Rock becoming president in our lifetime would be worse than that. Like, actually worse. I think Terry Crews would make an all-right president. He's a survivor, as we said several episodes ago. And I think he'd bring a unique perspective to the office. And ultimately, the president has no power anyways, right? Because if they try and exercise any, they'll be assassinated. So,
yeah, he would be the first truly black president, in my opinion.
Ooh,
taking shots at Obama.
Yeah. Obama was black, but he was also, like an Uncle Tom, I think is the right indictment of him.
Yeah.
A traitor, a servant of the white man.
Pretty much. Which, I mean, You got to be somebody serving if you're president.
Everybody serves, right?
Uh-huh.
That's not a big deal.
Who said
But,
that?
like,
Who said that?
George R.R. Martin, Valar Dohaeris.
No, the song. Bob Dylan. Serve
Guys,
somebody?
I hate to interrupt.
Oh,
I hate to interrupt.
You don't hate to
But
do it.
it's time. No, I do right now because I feel like that was a really good, productive conversation we were having.
Uh-huh.
But we have to run our first ad.
Oh.
We have an ad.
we've secured investment and advertising from the following company.
What?
Well, Gatto secured it. I don't feel like we did anything.
You're right. The Gatto Institute and Charles secured it. So.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna play this real quick.
Okay.
Where did I put it?
Together, Walmart customers, associates, vendors, and local food banks have passed 70 million filled plates to food insecure Canadians since 2017. Donate what you can today, in addition to Walmart Canada's $1 million donation.
Wow.
We were just personally touched by the sentiment expressed by the corporate
Walmart.
mega giant, Walmart. And we felt compelled even, to share the sentiment as far as we could with our many, many listeners.
Yeah.
Yep.
Such a...
Yeah. What Walmart is doing is important.
Yeah, what was that figure? A $1 million donation?
Yep.
Wow.
Wow,
that's-
incredible.
Yeah. Such...
What do you think that is? Like a 10th, 100th, or 1,000% of their revenue a year?
Oh, it's got to be... it's got to be up there. That's a big number. That's a lot of money.
In Canada?
It's just in Canada, of course, because we'd have
Man.
to get into the 10,000th and 100,000th.
I bet one Walmart makes that in a month.
Oh yeah, that's actually the revenue month over month for a Walmart. That makes about sense, right? I bet you if we looked it up.
That's a lot of sense.
This is a disinformation podcast. Yeah, no, it was truly heartening to hear from one of the greatest producers of poverty in the first worldwide since the 90s, to express such an anthrocentric, an empathic sentiment, such a heartwarming sentiment as to express solidarity with their fellow man.
What do you think they're gonna? What do you think this donation is gonna go towards?
Well, I assume the extravagance of the CEO of whatever nonprofit runs that.
Okay, obviously I meant after that. After they take their cut.
Well, then it also probably maintains some middle class workers for the storefront, just for appearances,
Okay.
right? So they got to live too.
Okay, so
But after that, there's nothing left. There's nothing left, right?
Okay.
Producing the commercial was probably $300,000.
Oh.
We talked about a podcast. What was it? 24 Shades of Blue last time, right?
Yeah.
And I did a bit about perhaps the best marketing, the best public relations when you are just a completely toxic element is to not, right? Is to distance yourself from the population in any way, shape, or form. The whatever goodwill they were hoping to extend, they've enabled terrorists like us to enhance the consciousness of the population, and I thank them deeply for their sentiment. I really do.
Do you think there are people out there that just unironically, uncynically see that commercial and go, "Aw"?
No, that is the obvious reaction to that, right? That's the obvious reaction, the honest reaction, the everyman reaction to that. Your average mom in a suburbia would react to that wow, that's great that Walmart's doing that, right? Because they just don't know.
Think so?
Yeah, they just don't know, and they just don't care. They got bigger problems. It has never been vital information to their lives about the politics of fucking Walmart, right? They don't care. And
everyone over 50, maybe.
Everyone, just your every person, right? They may have a certain distrust or disdain for corporate everything writ large, right? But it's suppressed deeply and it doesn't manifest very well, I don't know.
It hasn't been sharpened.
Yeah, exactly. But this kind of I don't know, propaganda is so useful, right? Because it is so obvious that Walmart works night and day, right? Internationally, to like conspire with governments to suppress wages to such an extent that to survive you have to either like obey their shitty labor regime or, you know, just starve in the elements of the first world, which tend to be cold seasonally, right? Like,
Yeah.
so disgusting.
Yeah, they don't let you just hang out in Walmart anymore. They kick you out if you don't buy anything.
One of the main agents of the $50 trillion stolen from the lower classes and middle classes in the last 30 years, right? And transferred to the 1 or 0.1% or whatever it is.
But we thank Walmart for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, the money was great too.
Yeah, thank you. It paid for... we fixed the hinges on the door. That was cool. I still.
What did you do with your share?
Oh, with my
of the ad revenue.
with pardon? With
What'd you spend your share of the ad revenue on?
I got a balaclava, and then I went and I beat the shit out of a Walmart store greeter. They were like 85.
Oh, okay.
So you spent the money on a balaclava.
You
All
bought
right.
the
That makes
balaclava?
sense.
I mean, if you're gonna commit a crime, I feel like between the two of those things, you pick the worst one.
And then after that, I went out for baklava. Delicious. I'm sorry. Terrible
You
bit.
just silenced the room with that one. I don't know how to follow that.
Did you mean baklava?
Whatever, you know.
I think he did.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was a
there's one
dish
more.
I was missing in there, or
Suck my ass. The joke stands.
I don't know. I could probably keep tipping it over if you want me to.
Don't do that.
Yeah. DJ's got the vending machine up on two legs.
I had to do that once. Terrible. Don't shake the
Really?
machine. Yeah, no. It's sometimes you got to shake the machine.
Don't steal my money. How about
It was a metaphor. Sometimes you got to shake the machine, people, and create a union. All right. Go burn down your. Don't do any of this. Don't.
Well, form a union.
Form a
Don't
union.
burn
Do that
people.
part. If I tell you to go burn down a Walmart, do not do that. Explicitly don't. But if there are Walmarts on
Unless-
fire, I might be pleased. But do not do that. Do
Greta
not be the
Thunberg
cause.
Greta Thunberg said illegal action should be taken to stop fucking climate change. I was just like, you first. You know what I mean? Like, she like,
Yeah, Greta
Greta
Thunberg bombs a pipeline.
yeah, that shit happens. I'm right behind her, right? But like,
Yeah.
Honestly, it's crazy though, because there's not many people I can think of that, I can see doing that and me going, yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, good on you. But yeah, I'd let Greta do it. Greta becomes an eco-terrorist. I just go, yeah, okay, we all saw this coming. Like, where's her Patreon? How do I support this?
I bet you the response and change within governments worldwide would be instantaneous and significant. You know what I mean? If Greta Thunberg decided to throw a pipe bomb, they would, within the day, they'd be like, today we have to get this done because impersonators all around the globe will take this shit on tomorrow, right? Like, and like within that day, there would be all these resolutions passed with all these binding attachments and shit like that. If Greta Thunberg decided to throw a pipe bomb at somebody.
Greta, if you're listening, thanks. If you're not, which I suspect is the case, you just do you. You do you.
Yeah.
Well,
Continue your speaking tour.
Like, there's always this push for nonviolence, and I'm nonviolent at the end of the day, but I always think about that guy who assassinated the president of Japan. Sorry, the prime minister of Japan.
Former.
And like whatever. You're right. He was not the prime minister at the time of death. He was ruling Japan, right? So whatever. he was the shadow fucking hand that controlled everything. But whenever that fucking guy killed that guy, he got the changes he was seeking, like, almost instantaneously. Not immediately, but, like, as fast as the parliamentary system of Japan would allow for something that was not a complete emergency, right? Like,
Yeah, something totally unrelated to their, current talking points, and they went, "Oh, wait a minute."
they were like, "Yeah, absolutely, guy. Just relax," is what they were saying, right?
You made a gun?
You made that shotgun out of pipe and tape? Yeah, no problem. We'll change whatever fucking law you're yanking about. I think that was a bad fold on government's fucking part worldwide, because people are going to be thinking about that for a long time, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think people will be. I doubt. I don't know. Maybe the Japanese population will. I feel like they're pretty staid.
They're an intense people, man. I don't know. They, especially the liberals among them, they have a nationalistic zeal that perverts them to some pretty extreme action. If you look into the kamikazes,
Yeah.
most of the kamikazes were educated liberals, which is an interesting fucking turn of history.
That explains why they were locked up.
No, like real labor people were locked up, like communists and socialists. No liberals were locked up. No real liberals, at least.
I think I caught this headline. Maybe you guys saw it. Japan's considering student loan forgiveness for people that have kids.
Damn.
No, I
Yeah.
haven't heard anything about that, but, good on them.
Interesting solution.
Uh-huh.
Yo, I would have a bastard before that legislation came out. If I was, if that came around here, that is a poor way to solve my debt crisis, in my opinion.
I don't know. I wonder if maybe that's the take. Are they trying to encourage people to have families in order to...
How many tens of thousands of rapes do you think happen because of the implementation of that law?
I'm sure they're not dumb enough to just say you have to have kids. I'm sure there's some sort of like...
You want to bet?
Family?
It's
Yeah, absolutely.
the Japanese.
There's definitely some clause like, okay, you have to have family services in for like a period of 5 years to like gauge your family's
Apply.
wellness.
Ugh. Means testing.
Yeah, they're not just going to give people this money. Money is never
Yeah.
just given away.
Yeah, it is to rich people all the time.
No, they take the money. It's taking.
I don't know if they're taking it. Right.
You're right. It's just there for them to take. It's just on a platter. Like, please, our lords, take our offering.
Yeah.
Take our tribute.
We've taxed the lower class again. Take their money, please, and give me head
right.
pats and play fetch with me.
We're burning this fucking bit to the right to the butt, I think. So why don't we move on to an article? What do you think?
Well, I think I got Julian to talk about enough. He mentioned one or two things. I suppose I could bring up my article.
I'll go find more if you want.
You never even got to the CBC. That's the best part.
Yeah, he said the first article headline, and I riffed on it for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, and then we
That's
had
what
an
happened.
ad, and then we talked.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. We're truly indebted to you, Julian, and your labor.
Your labor.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hit up my article if you want. I do want a stinger though.
Oh yeah, of course. 1 or 2.
Let's go 2 today.
All right.
It is the superior of the two.
I was honestly thinking I think I prefer 1. I think I prefer
Really?
1 now that I've heard which one is 2.
Would you like 1? now?
No. I
Well,
wanna-
the audience
wanna
needs
keep
to
it.
hear it now, at least.
We'll hear in a different episode.
Okay,
Yeah,
fuck me. I got you.
I hope 1 and 2 never stay consistent though. I hope if I ask for 1 next time, I get 2 from this time.
We actually only have the 1.
Yeah.
I hope the Walmart fucking commercial just comes out when you ask for a sticker.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't work like that, but I wish it did.
Ooh.
I'd vibe with
just
that.
realized.
I'd roll with that.
I wonder if that'll get flagged by Podbean.
Maybe.
Podbean wouldn't do us dirty like that. Podbean loves us.
Would
It's only 16
YouTube.
seconds, so
YouTube might?
it's only 16
I guess
seconds.
we'll see.
It's fair use. It's fair use.
Yeah, we are using it. We are using it for commentary purposes.
Parody.
Yes,
it's parody
and
commentary
parody
purposes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm sure they have bigger than CC laws on Walmart garbage, but whatever. Who's gonna?
I'd go right to the Supreme Court, self-representing on that.
Bold.
Because there'd be no loss on that for sure. Once someone who eventually is high enough, they would recognize, yeah, dude, you have complete right to that. But Walmart could come after us for something like that.
They might.
Unfortunately.
Let's wait and see.
Maybe
they have cause of action or whatever you want to call it, reasonable action or whatever it is.
Maybe
maybe that's how we blow up.
Yeah, that. Or I was going to say maybe we get bribed again. That'd be nice. Maybe I can get a share this time. Not bid or anything.
A share. How much do you think a Walmart share is trading for right now?
Oof, more than a Twitter one.
I'm going to look it up, but I want guesses from each of you.
I don't know how shares work. I know how they work.
$35.
35 was about what I was going to guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
DJ, quick, say 34 or 36.
36.
Wrong. It's trading for about 140 US dollars right now. So pretty good. But,
pretty good. Thanks, Walmart.
One share, not going to increase your wealth, is what I was trying to get at there.
You got to trade your way up, baby.
Well, that's not what he meant. He wanted a share of the ad revenue because you spent it all on balaclava and then balaclava.
Baklava. No, it was just baklav. Don't you remember the different dish?
Yeah.
It's Slovenian. It's just particular to that one Slavic country instead of all of them.
It's a delicacy, regional delicacy.
Yeah.
I see. My mistake.
It's okay. We'll forgive you. Let's see here. Got an article trying to get away from our usual stuff.
AI. I hope it's not AI.
So it's not AI this time. Instead, we're going back to art. The other thing I can only talk about. This one kind of approaches the subject in a roundabout way, so stick with me for a minute.
Yeah.
Got an article here from Polygon. Thank you, Polygon, for letting me read your articles for free. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Huge shout out.
This is a review from written by Gita Jackson on February 17th, titled Hogwarts Legacy Wants to Make Everyone Happy, but Harry Potter Gets in the Way.
You big beautiful bastard. This is such a good topic.
Yeah, so I take it you two have heard about the controversy surrounding Hogwarts Legacy.
Well, which one?
Any of them.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So, for those uneducated, the Harry Potter fandom at large is in a state, it has been ever since the author of the series, J.K. Rowling, decided to be a big turf.
Real big turf.
Real huge. One of the biggest in these days. Whether that's just due to her notoriety or if it's just part of the gig, I don't know. Maybe it comes with the turf. Hard to say. Thank you, Julian. Thank you. I'll be here all week, folks.
Anytime.
No, dude, she's taking it to another place. That Troubled Blood book she wrote is 944 pages, and it's just like anti-trans hatred.
Yeah, she's definitely using her outlet to spread her hate.
That's longer than Dune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first one.
Yeah. Oh, is the second and third one long? I just read the Wikipedia on it because I heard
there's like 8.
I heard his grandson becomes one of the worms, and I logged out after that. First one's excellent.
Yeah, that seems to be the sentiment. There's a lot of Dune. It's a big series. There's like side series too, from what I know. But we're not talking about Dune. We're talking about Hogwarts Legacy. And I'll give you a synopsis. Basically, this article goes on about, and I mean no offense to Miss Jackson here, or Mr., I'm honestly not sure. Mix, perhaps. Gita's not a very giving.
Indicative
name. But anyways, yeah, it's a review, obviously, so they're going on about how, essentially the review boils down to how this game is kind of just vapid. It's very expressionless, and it's kind of just, it's trying to be a game that appeals to everyone without appealing to anyone.
Yeah.
I was really Is that where you're gonna kind of trail off, or?
Feel free to make your point.
Yeah, my brother bought it. He's in the next room over, and I decided to play it when he was gone, with his permission, of course. And I found the character creation like an apology for the J.K. Rowling sex fucking whatever, her hatred. And I found that, kind of heartwarming. I was like, that's nice, because those people may be genocided in America coming up, right? And that will look really bad on her.
Yeah, for sure.
I too found the game fucking vapid. Like, once I got to Hogwarts, the biggest thing that you can do is spin a globe. Almost in every room throughout the castle, there's a globe that you can walk up to and interact with and spin it. And on top of that, Quidditch is canceled.
Yeah.
I just unacceptable.
Nice.
Just unacceptable, in my opinion. They were afraid, in my opinion, of GameCube Quidditch, which was one of the top games of all time, in my opinion.
You think?
But anyways, yeah, with the national teams and the special moves, and it's the best sports game ever.
That's crazy. I had never played the GameCube one, but my take on it is that they're holding out for DLC content down the road.
Oh yeah.
To shove in Quidditch is like, I don't know. Anyways,
along that
Jake,
wait along the DLC content, apparently in the Slytherin common room, people have been seeing the basilisk, and they thought that was going to be a DLC thing. And apparently there's a Gaunt, which is the female line descendant of Voldemort's fucking ancestor. Is that what? And there's a Gaunt student there. Anyways, and but the developers came out and they said, no, it's just the Kraken in the lake and he's clipping through the walls. We don't know what to do.
That's pretty funny.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Jacob's brother lives in the Gatto Institute, just by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. He records for one of the shows next door.
he's actually part of the right gaze. 24 Shades of Blue was looking at him too.
Oh.
Real I don't know what it is.
Up-and-comer?
Yeah, just a young kid, I guess. He just really dissatisfied. I don't know what happened.
Well, I can't make winners of them all. Speaking of young kids, yeah, Hogwarts Legacy. You play as a fifth-year transfer, not even a transfer student. You kind of just show up at the school.
Yeah, a late bloomer, right? Your magic didn't come to you until you were 16.
It's honestly, I haven't played a lot of the game, but I played quite a bit, and honestly, it's never touched on why you were a late bloomer. It's just kind of like, hey, we couldn't start you at 10 years old because that'd be weird, and people don't want to play as children, so...
They fumbled that, by the way. I just want to interject here needlessly. Mm-hmm. They should have done like a sequence of events, right? Like you get your letter, you go, you get sorted, right? And then you do like a couple sequences for each year, right? You learn Leviosa in your first year, and then it just fucking goes to the next year, right? And then it comes in at like fourth or fifth year, I think would be a good goal, right? Because then you have a fully developed character you can play with, right?
Yeah, Definitely the game could have taken a different approach for sure. And I think a lot of people hold that view, which is very similar to this review. The author is admittedly quite a pothead. I think they call themselves quite a fan of the written series.
Oh.
Oh, I was going to say, aren't we all potheads?
Aren't we all? No, different kinds of potheads.
Yeah, sorry.
I think there is a different word for it. But I digress.
A
Potterhead. That's just stupid to me. I refuse to call them that. They're potheads. Get over it.
It's one less syllable.
Too many. It's one too many. Yeah, so this review is kind of, here and there. The author takes their stabs at the game for being creatively devoid.
Yeah. Empty.
And I have to... I don't. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of questions lined up, and I've got like 5 minutes left here to shoot my load, and that's these are some like big questions, but I'll tackle the small ones. Is it? I don't know. I reading this article and having played the games, and having come from a weird period in my life where all of my elder sisters, very big into Harry Potter growing up. I never got around to reading the books. I only listened to the audiobooks. I think I might have mentioned this in one recording 5 years ago. And, you know, I've watched all the movies growing up. I had like a pretty orbital view of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And are we... Is it, I don't know, is it okay to look at media of this type, something expanding a franchise, which in itself is a completely different debate, but is it...
We've won, in my opinion, to just jump the question. The market has won the moral argument against J.K. Rowling.
Sure.
Harry Potter is never going away, right? It is metastasized, such an investment, such a what's the word? Intellectual property investment, right? The whole success of Harry Potter is that it is one corporatization of the wizarding world, right? Where shopping is one of the main events of the first book, right? Like, it's an easily transferable thing to a bunch of merchandise that will equal billions of dollars, and that they keep pumping out new books and movies on the Harry Potter franchise that have nothing to do with J.K. Rowling tells me that it is never going away, right? The American empire will dissolve before the Harry Potter franchise stops soaking money off people.
That's great, Jake. What I was going to ask is it okay to judge this piece based solely on its attachment to the franchise? Or I feel like that's kind of dubious. To not look at this thing as its own creation.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's what I was getting at.
I don't understand.
You know, people are shooting so much flack at this game. Pew, 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 just because it's got a Harry Potter label on it.
Yeah. And I thought I answered that J.K. Rowling, we won the fucking argument.
We won the thing. You're sorry, man. No.
Oh, like this game can be bad because of like how it's designed, not because of its association with Harry
exactly.
Potter.
Like, sure, I too think the game is kind of vapid and lacks any sort of message, but I think that's because it's a sounded down open world collectathon. It's not really doing anything. It's
just the Ubisoft engine with a Harry Potter skin.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a really good analysis. Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know. Is it? I've in my opinion, you really have to look at it on its own plate rather than looking at this entire established lore. But at the same time, it's obviously trying to reach over at the other plate and go, I want some of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a weird perspective on it as well because I read all the books when I was really young, but I came to like distance myself from them by the time like the fourth movie came out. So I don't know. I want to buy it just to experience that serotonin again. And like, you know, just judge it as separate from that real hatred that she contributes to.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like I've gotten all the fucking dopamine I'm going to get it out of it by playing it on my brother's computer while simultaneously watching the first film again for 5 minutes. I feel like I've tapped it out at this point.
Yeah, so that's all you needed, just the nostalgia restart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you illegally download it just out of interest?
Oh, goodness, no. I got a copy from my friend. Wink. I too borrowed it and played it on my friend's device, Jacob. Wink.
I'm gonna do that. Why pay for it? It's it lends itself to that so well. It's such a fucking single player shit game.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate online. I'm sure it's fizzled out by now, but on the game's release, there was a lot of things like, no, don't buy it. You're supporting the thing that the turf made. And a lot of people going, the turf was very specifically not invited. And a lot of people...
She's still making bank
She's still making bank off the royalties, you know, it doesn't matter. And then there's a lot of people coming in who are like, hey, borrow it.
My point is, her making bank is not only inevitable, but the amount of bank that she has already is like the contributions that this game will make will just be imperceptible to her. Anything that she has before the game, she will be able to buy that she will be able to have after the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes no difference to her.
She can buy an F-22 before and after, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah, a lot of money.
What I'm trying to get across.
It's the Nimbus 22.
That's hilarious. Could you imagine? The Harry Potter came out in the 90s. The 2020 version of the fucking broom has stealth paint on the side. You got to apply the stealth paint every time, and you can't fly it in the rain. But it's got, missiles and shit. I don't know. It's got an inner pod of missiles. The thing flips open, and the missile comes out the side.
They're not even magic. They're just real missiles.
Yeah.
Have fun catching the snitch.
An AIM 9X or whatever the F-22 shot down the balloon with. Amazing.
Money well spent.
Yeah.
Anyways, my favorite part of the game was the world building, and I feel like the game devs are getting shat on for making like a pretty nice game with a really well built world.
Yeah, the castle is well investigated, well
it's
built,
beautiful,
interactive.
All the like the like how they went in and they were like, okay, sure, there's Hogsmeade, but there's all of this junk nearby. There's like the literal land around Hogsworth, which is just that's cool world building. But whatever, Hogwarts Legacy gets thrown in the bin because.
I was most impressed by the book sections of the castle that are never, like the Great Hall, for instance, that never makes an appearance in the movies, and it's a mainstay of the books. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job interpreting a lot of aspects. But
they recommended me become a Gryffindor, and I don't understand why that happened. What did you get?
I got Ravenclaw, but I was kind of aiming for it. There was only like 2 questions, so like what do you do?
I was aiming for Ravenclaw too, because I just wanted to see the new fucking their dorm room, right? Because I know what the Slytherins and the fucking Gryffindors look like, and fuck Hufflepuffs, fuck them people.
For sure.
I think I'm a Slytherin, but my fucking family always says, "No, you're a Ravenclaw. You're a nerd."
You think?
Yeah, you're definitely a Ravenclaw, though, DJ. You're definitely.
Maybe.
Julian, you got mad Hufflepuff energy. Just to circle back, unfortunate. My bad.
Hufflepuff puff pass, baby.
I gotta.
He might be a Gryffindor.
I could see maybe. I don't know. Julian's hard to. He's an enigma. That one.
Maybe it's like Draco Malfoy when the hat touches Julian's head. It's just like Slytherin. He's like an evil person, and we just don't know it.
Maybe he's one of the ghosts. He was just flying.
I'm
around.
a Mercedes fan first and foremost.
Oh.
Yeah. They had what's his name? The non-ghost, but he still like apparates through the walls. What's his
Peeves.
name? Peeves, yeah. Peeves makes a regular appearance in the castle. I really appreciated that. He's
really funny, honestly. And like whenever he's just doing something stupid, I make a point to just stop and be like, "Oh, hey, it's the funny guy."
Mm-hmm. I thought the representation of in the professorship was cool too. Like they had that Indian guy, and like every. They had a bunch of exchange students from around the world in every house. I thought it was really well done, really well and tastefully handled.
Yeah. I too appreciated. A lot of people are really butthurt because it's out of time for there to be all of this.
It should be a British boarding school. They should all be white and miserable and really racist.
For sure.
That's what magic should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be at that time. But I, too, really appreciate that they went out of their way to make it not that. Yeah, to just slap all of those people in the face and be like, no, that's bad. We're not doing it.
That's my stance on historical film, too, right? Absolutely dab on history and its racism. Fuck it, right? Expunge it, right? Like, disgusting. The black Achilles in Troy, we love that shit. We love fucking race bending fucking history. I want a black Passion of the Christ really badly.
Hey, maybe one day. But we have gone well over time. I got way more questions.
Let's wrap it up.
I was do another question. I was just gonna keep going until Julian called it.
No, I couldn't do that to him. He's gotta stitch everything together.
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up here. Although we should budget more time for DJ's articles because he always comes in with like at least half an hour of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But
I
feel
interrupted
bad.
him like 3 times, even though he asks me not to at the beginning.
Yeah,
of
we
every
should budget time, and then we should also budget more time for the Jacob tangents along the way.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Add
I'm
50%.
deeply sorry. Anyways, summer's coming.
Anyways, that's this week, and yeah, summer's coming.
You know, it's almost here.